Well, go ahead and share your chart so we can talk about how to identify a head and shoulders, because that's where often I'm like, is the right shoulder a little bit like a scrawny one? Is it got some bone issues? I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it looks like a head and shoulders, but I want to get on a trade. So go ahead and share your chart so we can kind of talk our way through it. But what you got for me here?
A head and shoulders is unfortunately something that I can't go searching for. It more appears when I've got a particular set of circumstances that have developed and I notice it through looking for other things through my scanned list of stocks. So I'll be looking for other things and I'll be like, okay, it's the same thing with double bottoms. I can't technically search for them. Well, we have here on the Dover Corporation, and it's a developing head and shoulders top. So what you're looking for in this particular instance, a shoulder, a head, and then another shoulder. So a rotation that then spikes up higher than the previous high, and then another collapse and a rotation that does not reach the previous high. Your preference is that the right-hand shoulder is higher than the left-hand shoulder. That's a preference, but not a requirement. So what you do when you find something like this is you draw what's called a neckline. A neckline logically goes with a head and shoulders because you have a neckline with your head and shoulder. It's just a simple thing. What you do when you want to find the neckline is you draw from the inside low of the left shoulder to the inside low of the right shoulder. That forms a neckline. Here's the head, here's the neck. So what you're looking at here is the correct entry for this is on a close below the neckline. That's all it is. All right. How do I measure a target? Well, you measure a target, and I'm going to use this tool, but it might fight me a little bit here, is you measure the head down directly to the neck, which is going to be right about here. Okay. And then you can move that to where it breaks the neckline. That's your target. So in this particular case, if I draw a horizontal line where I've measured it to right here, the target ends up being around 206.60. Now that applies to wherever the neckline is broken. So if the neckline was broken up here, it would go to here. It was broken up here, it would go to here, and so on until it gets above this right shoulder, in which case it's dead. We can get rid of this now. As the market continues to go lower, if it does, I have a natural trailing stop. Just a close above this line, this fail-safe trend line, that's my trailing stop. Never have to adjust it, never have to guess where it is, none of that stuff. My sort of fail-safe stop, the place where I want out if it gets above, is a trade above the right-hand shoulder, okay? So I'm gonna get rid of my lines here so that they're out of the way, okay? And I'm going to draw a horizontal line at the approximate entry, which is going to be right about here. Okay. And I'm going to make that blue and dashed so that it sticks with what I normally do. Okay. This is my target. My first stop is going to be any close above this trend line. I can't really draw a line on there, right? Because it could be any of these levels. I want out of this trade because it's going the wrong way is a trade above the right shoulder. Not a close above it, but a trade above it. Okay. So I can put a stop in the market just above here. I really don't care where you guys put it. You can put it all the way up here. You can put it down here. I don't care. But if it trades above this shoulder, the probability shift to the pattern being broken and the ultimate target is not likely to get hit. Now, I've had people trade these a dozen different ways, but these are the concrete factors here. Is the fail-safe trend line, what I call the walk-away stop, which is a stop you put in the markets and walk away from your screen, and that's going to be above the right-hand shoulder. Your entry is a close below the neckline, and your target is the distance between the head and the neckline applied to where the neckline was breached.